Wang is a guy who's always been the punching bag at school. Everyone mocks him because he's a loser with no social skills, and the only thing he's really good at is avoiding drama. But that all changes one day, in a way no one could have predicted. It all starts at a high school mixer, where everyone's gathered to play Jenga. You know the game, one wrong move, and you've got to spill a secret. It's Shen Yao's turn, and she's trying her best to stay calm, but when she locks eyes with Wang, her face turns red, and she messes up. Everyone laughs, thinking she's just nervous around Wang, who's pretty much known for being the class nobody. But then the real bombshell drops. As per the game rules, Shen Yao has to tell a secret. So, the group asks her, "Who do you like?" And guess what? Shen Yao, without any hesitation, blurts out, "I like Wang." Everyone is dead silent for a second. Even Wang himself can't believe it. His classmates start cracking up because there's no way someone as plain as Wang could be the object of Shen Yao's affection. But, surprise surprise, Shen Yao isn't joking, she's liked him since middle school. Wang, being totally stunned, can't even process the information. This is the moment he's been dreaming of his whole life. Shen Yao, the beautiful, popular girl, likes him. It's like his dream finally came true. But, of course, things never stay perfect for long, do they? As soon as the mixer ends, Wang is dragged away by a group of random bullies. He has no idea who they are, but their leader, Sun Jun, seems pretty familiar. Turns out, Sun Jun has been harassing Shen Yao for ages, and when he finds out she likes Wang, he doesn't take it too well. Instead of just walking away like a normal person, he decides to kidnap Wang and throw him by the river to teach him a lesson. Now, Wang recognizes Sun Jun as the leader of a notorious gang. And when Sun Jun starts calling Shen Yao to taunt her by showing her Wang's sorry state, Wang realizes he's about to be in some serious trouble. Sun Jun tells Wang that he's a loser and has no right to be with someone as perfect as Shen Yao. Then he gives Wang an ultimatum: swear that he'll never talk to Shen Yao again, or he'll toss him into the river. Wang, being the stubborn guy he is, refuses to give in. He loves Shen Yao, and there's no way he's going to back down now. So, in a dramatic and kind of funny moment, Wang head-butts the guy holding him. It's a solid headbutt too, but it goes a little too well. The guy drops Wang, and, well, Wang ends up falling into the river. Oops. Sun Jun, panicked and not actually wanting to kill Wang, starts shouting, "Wang, are you okay?" But Wang doesn't answer, because, let's be real, he's too busy drowning to care about the drama. He's just thinking, well, if I can't protect the one I love, then what's the point of being alive? As he sinks into the water, Wang's life flashes before his eyes. He remembers being that kid who always ran away from fights, the one everyone called a crybaby. In middle school, that was enough to destroy any tiny bit of popularity he had. He remembers overhearing two girls making fun of him, calling him weak and pathetic. Ouch. But hours pass, and everyone goes home. Wang stays behind, sulking like usual. He doesn't know what to do with himself, until Shen Yao walks out of the school gates. She spots him sitting there by himself and asks, "What's wrong, Wang?" He doesn't answer. And for a moment, he wonders if this is how it all ends, for him to always be the guy no one notices. But this, my friends, is where the adventure begins. Just when Wang thinks his life is over, he finds a glowing cube deep at the bottom of the lake. Touching it isn't just a moment of destiny, it grants him unimaginable power. From here, Wang is no longer the weak, ignored guy he once was. He's got the power to take revenge on everyone who ever mocked him, and maybe even rule the world. Talk about an unexpected plot twist, right? So yeah, Wang's journey from loser to world ruler is only just getting started. Get ready for some epic revenge and a lot of crazy moments along the way. And hey, let's just hope he remembers where he put that cube, because, power can be pretty slippery when you're not paying attention. Shen Yao noticed Wang standing alone in the rain, looking like a lost puppy without an umbrella. She offered to share hers so they could walk home together, but Wang, being stubborn, refused. "I'll wait until it stops," he said, but Shen Yao pointed out that the rain wasn't going anywhere, and he'd be soaked to the bone. Wang, reluctantly realizing she was right, hesitated. She wasn't giving up. Then, Shen Yao noticed a cut on his arm. "Let me help," she said, but Wang was reluctant. "It's nothing," he muttered, trying to avoid the situation. But Shen Yao insisted, and he finally gave in. As she carefully dressed the wound, she blew a kiss on it like some sort of magical healer, making Wang's heart race. At that moment, Wang found himself imagining the next 50 years of his life with her. That's how deep he'd fallen. Fast forward to the present. Wang was underwater, drifting towards the abyss. He'd decided he was done. Life was over. But then, he saw something glowing at the bottom. Curiosity kicked in, and despite knowing he couldn't swim back up, he dove deeper to check it out. And there it was, a glowing cube. Of course, he picked it up. Who wouldn't? Right. As soon as his hands touched it, the cube activated and went inside his body like a secret power-up. Then, a massive wave of pain hit him. For a moment, he thought he was going to explode. Suddenly, he found himself yanked out of the water and traveling through some crazy wormhole. When Wang finally opened his eyes, he realized he was alive, but holy hell, where was he? What just happened? Before he could lose his mind entirely, a weird system popped up in front of him, announcing, "You now have the power to teleport within a 15-meter radius. Use it wisely." Wang blinked. Teleportation? Seriously? What kind of scam is this? Before he could process it, he was suddenly high up in the air above the canal. Wang screamed, "I'm gonna die." He was sure he'd plummet to his doom, but to his surprise, he wasn't falling. He was floating. Wang managed to calm himself down and looked down. There, he saw Sun Jun and his goons frantically searching for him in the water. Wang chuckled to himself. Sun Jun was so worried, he probably thought he'd murdered Wang. Who's the loser now? A second later, Wang got teleported again, this time into an empty classroom at school. He was starting to get a grip on this teleportation thing, but he still had no clue how or why he had it. The system's voice piped up again, saying, "You've activated your teleportation ability." Wang panicked. "I'm hearing voices now. Am I going crazy?" The system reassured him, "No, it's actually in your body." Not exactly a comforting thought. Wang was freaking out when a teacher suddenly opened the door to the classroom. "What the heck?" he muttered, seeing the room empty except for a puddle of water on the floor. Great. Now Wang was convinced he was losing his mind. He barely had time to process it before he was teleported back to his house. Once home, he decided to take a shower and try to relax. After his shower, Wang was surprised to find his phone still worked, even though it had been at the bottom of the river with him. First things first, he called Shen Yao. As soon as she picked up, she started panicking, asking if he was okay. Wang reassured her, "I'm fine, just a little wet, no big deal." Shen Yao was furious about what Sun Jun had done. She asked if they should report him to the cops, but Wang was like, "Nah, no need. I managed to slip away before he noticed." Sun Jun was probably still out there, frantically searching the river, wondering if he had just killed Wang and, more importantly, how much jail time he could be facing. Wang, trying to calm her down, told her to get some rest and hung up. Lying in bed, he started thinking about the crazy day. He still couldn't figure out what was going on with his powers, and he knew no one would believe him if he told them. Suddenly, the system's voice popped up in his head again, asking, "Has Wang calmed down yet?" Wang grumbled and asked why the system kept following him around. The voice reminded him, "I'm a part of your body now, buddy. You can't escape me." Before Wang could argue, the system activated the glowing cube, and, just like that, Wang was sucked into it again. The system explained that it had created a connection with his body, making him the user of the heraldric cube universal system. In other words, Wang was stuck with it forever. When Wang asked where he was, the system said, "This is a macro space inside the cube. It's tiny on the outside, only 3 centimeters, but huge on the inside." Wang was still struggling to process this, but he wasn't about to ask if it had a mini-fridge in there too. Then, the system told him it wanted to help him achieve his dream of becoming the king of the world. Wang was like, "Yeah, okay, I'm pretty sure my dream was just to survive today." But the system didn't care about that. It was all about making Wang the ruler. So, Wang tried practicing teleportation, but after just a few jumps, he felt like his energy had been zapped. The system warned him that his energy reserves were running low, so from now on, he'd be limited to teleporting only once per minute. Wang decided to take a break, but his curiosity got the best of him. He asked the system if there was a safer way to practice. The system replied, "Well, technically, you can use your powers to sense everything within 15 meters." Wong was like, "Sounds easy enough." So, he gave it a shot. First, he scanned his apartment. He could see his bedroom, a couple getting it on, and, oh, his neighbor in the bathtub. "Whoa, okay, that feels wrong," Wong muttered. He quickly stopped focusing on his building and tried scanning the garden instead. But as soon as he locked eyes with a cat, Wong freaked out and ended up falling to his knees. The system warned, "If you keep pushing your powers like this, you're gonna burn through all your energy." Wong realized he was going too hard too fast, and before he knew it, he passed out. A few hours later, Wong woke up in his bed, feeling like he'd just run a marathon. The system had brought him back to his room because he needed rest. "Hey, where's your voice?" Wong asked, realizing he couldn't hear the system anymore. The system explained, "Staying connected to your body uses up energy. I can't let you die from exhaustion, or I'd disappear with you." Wong, still trying to wrap his head around everything, groaned. Superpowers. Really? This was his life now. After his shower, Wong tried to look up information about the cube online, but guess what? There wasn't some American guy on YouTube with a tutorial titled, "How to Unlock Your Inner Superpower Using a Glowing Cube." No surprise there. So, he realized he was on his own to figure this out. Just when he thought things couldn't get crazier, he received a message from Shen Yao asking if he wanted to grab lunch with her tomorrow. Wong's heart skipped a beat. He was stoked at first. But then, his memories of Suenjuan's attack hit him. "Oh, I'm gonna make that guy regret everything," Wong thought, but not right now. He was still running on empty, energy-wise. Desperate for a boost, Wong turned to the system and asked if there was any way to get stronger. The system coolly replied, "Yes, there's an upgrade function. Just absorb an energy gem, and you'll be good to go." Wong's eyes lit up. "Energy gems? Tell me more." The system explained that he could use pretty much any rock, but the better ones, like some rare charismatite or, I dunno, his mom's diamond ring, would be much more effective. But Wong didn't want to be using his mom's jewelry for this, so the system reassured him that cheap rocks could work, too. The system found a gem for Wong to upgrade with. It was outside, in the garden, so Wong grabbed a shovel and teleported downstairs. "Okay, where do I dig?" he asked, looking around. The system didn't just hand him the answer. It encouraged him to use his spatial awareness and find it on his own. Feeling a little like a treasure hunter, Wong closed his eyes, focused, and then stumbled upon something by a tree. He dug it up and found a small, bright orange pebble. It looked like something a kid might collect, not exactly glowing superpower material, but the system assured him it was legit. Wong placed the gem against the wall of his inner cube. A few seconds later, it was absorbed, and a strange feeling rushed through his body. That actually worked, he thought, surprised. The system explained that this gem had boosted his strength by 2 and his endurance by 1. "Keep absorbing these, and you'll be a beast in no time," the system added. Wong, now feeling a little more confident, went to bed that night, already thinking about how he was going to handle Sun Jun the next day. The next morning, Wong barely woke up to his alarm, still exhausted from all the power gem hunting he'd been doing. Realizing he had school, he rushed to get ready, but as soon as he walked into the classroom, Shen Yao was waiting for him. "Okay, what happened last night?" she asked, her face full of concern. Wong was still trying to process it himself when his classmates, having heard Shen Yao's confession of liking him, started teasing her. The poor girl was getting roasted, and Wong couldn't help but laugh a little. But then, the door slammed open, and there stood Sun Jun, looking like the last guy you want to see at your school. He didn't even say hello. Instead, he pointed at a random dude and ordered one of his goons to kick him in the gut. "Suenjuan's here for me," Wong muttered to himself. Shen Yao freaked out, but Wong told her to stay calm and go back to her seat. He wasn't going to let this jerk ruin his day. Sun Jun marched to the front of the class, demanding, "Where's Wong?" Everyone turned their heads, looking like they'd all been waiting for this moment to happen. Wong just hoped Sun Jun wouldn't notice him, but nope. Sun Jun had his eyes locked on him and started walking up the stairs, heading straight for him. Wong quickly checked in with the system. "How bad is this gonna be?" The system was all chill, this'll be an easy win. Your combat power is 22, while the average here is 5. Wang smirked, ready for a fight. Just as Wang was about to say something, Shen Yao stepped in. Son, just leave him alone. Don't make this worse. Sun Jun, clearly not taking the hint, walked right up to her and started trash-talking Wang. That was enough for Wang. He stood up and apologized to Shen Yao for letting Sun Jun harass her for so long, but this time, he was going to handle it. Sun Jun grabbed him by the collar, threatening to kill him. Wang squeezed his arm so hard that Sun Jun flinched and took a step back. If you keep messing with me or Shen Yao, I'm going to make you regret it, Wang said, his voice calm but firm. Before anything else could happen, the class teacher barged in. What's going on here? He demanded. Sun Jun knew this wasn't the time to make a scene, so he quickly backed off and agreed to leave, but not without whispering in Wang's ear, "Meet me at the North Sea basketball court tonight, or else." Sun Jun left with his goons, and Yao turned to Wang, asking what Sun Jun had whispered. Wang, trying to play it cool, shrugged and said, "It wasn't anything important. Actually, my head's killing me. I think I might need to skip class today." At the basketball court, Sun Jun couldn't stop thinking about how Wang had just left bruises on his wrist. "There's no way he's been hitting the gym," Sun Jun muttered to himself. He figured it was a fluke and promised he'd make Wang pay for embarrassing him. A little while later, Wang showed up, ready for the confrontation. "Where are you, Sun Jun?" he yelled. He found Sun Jun sitting smugly at the top of the bleachers, grinning like a guy who thinks he's already won. Sun Jun laughed, knowing Wang wouldn't stand a chance. This wasn't going to be a one-on-one fight. He had his entire gang with him. The system warned Wang that there were 13 opponents here, and when Wang asked his chances of winning, the system grimly said, "You've got about a 20% chance." Wang's confidence crashed hard. Sun Jun noticed and started mocking him even more. He gave Wang one last chance to apologize and beg for mercy, but Wang wasn't backing down. Instead, Wang started insulting Sun Jun and his whole North City gang for being too scared to fight him alone. It was a classic move to try and bait Sun Jun into a one-on-one fight, but Sun Jun wasn't having it. "You want to fight? You got it," he snarled, ready to swing. Things were about to get ugly, and Wang was ready.